Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about one of the most surprising and talked about developments in recent times, the moment when Ukraine managed to pull off what many had thought to be impossible, and the Russian bridge, a massive structure that symbolized strength and stability, ended up falling apart. To understand the significance of this event, we need to look at it from different angles, from how it appeared on the surface, to what happened beneath, how it performed in terms of results, the safety measures taken, the unique features of the operation, the cost it carried, and finally what conclusions we can draw from it. This is not just a simple story of an attack, it is a multi-layered development that has changed perceptions around the world. From the outside, the first impression of this event is all about visuals and impact. A bridge that once stood as a proud construction project, connecting regions and showcasing the reach of Russian engineering, suddenly became a broken piece of concrete and steel. The image of a collapsed bridge carries more than just physical destruction, it represents a dent in authority and control. To the global audience, the exterior view of this incident was shocking. It wasn't just a piece of infrastructure that fell apart, it was an emblem of power that suddenly looked fragile. When people around the world saw the damaged bridge, they did not just see rubble, they saw cracks in a narrative of invincibility. In wars and conflicts, appearances matter as much as actual military success, and in this case, the appearance of the broken structure became a symbol that spread across headlines internationally. If we look a little deeper inside, the interior side of this story is even more interesting. The operation behind this event was not random, it was carefully calculated. Ukraine's use of intelligence, planning, and timing shows how the inner mechanics of warfare work. Rather than relying only on brute force, the strategy was about precision and secrecy. Inside the planning rooms, this must have been a moment of high stakes. Every detail needed to be calculated, from the timing of the strike to the method used, and the secrecy maintained until the very last moment. While the world only saw the collapsed bridge on the outside, on the inside it was the result of countless hours of coordination and flawless execution. Ukraine essentially turned the interior side of warfare into its strength, using smart methods where others expected only straightforward confrontation. When we shift focus to performance, this is where the real achievement stands out. In terms of outcome, the event exceeded expectations. Analysts around the world had considered this bridge too heavily guarded, too strategically important, and too difficult to bring down. Yet Ukraine managed to do it. The performance of this operation was not only about damaging concrete and steel, it was about hitting logistics. The bridge was a crucial lifeline for Russian movement of troops, weapons, and supplies. By targeting and successfully damaging it, Ukraine didn't just break a structure, they disrupted an entire chain of supply. That kind of impact is what makes performance count in the real sense. Every military expert who looked at the results admitted that this was not just a tactical success but also a psychological one. Performance is measured not only by destruction but by how much it shifts momentum, and in this case, the momentum moved in Ukraine's favor. Safety, in operations like these, becomes a vital issue. In warfare, the line between civilian and military targets is often blurred, but here we saw an attempt to make the strike precise. By focusing on infrastructure instead of densely populated civilian areas, Ukraine sent a message that the goal was strategic damage rather than unnecessary human casualties. That decision itself shows the level of care in execution. Safety features in this kind of operation come in the form of technology, intelligence, and precision strikes. The outcome demonstrated that the attack was not reckless but carefully aimed, which not only reduced collateral damage but also strengthened Ukraine's moral standing in the eyes of international observers. For any operation, especially in today's world where global media is watching every move, the ability to maintain this kind of accuracy is a safety feature that adds credibility and respect. What makes this entire development stand out are its unique selling points. If there is one thing that shocked observers, it was the element of surprise. No one expected Ukraine to go after such a heavily guarded target and succeed. The uniqueness lies in the fact that a smaller force, often underestimated, used creativity, intelligence, and timing to achieve what a larger force could not prevent. The ability to strike where it hurts most, in a way no one thought possible, is what made this event unforgettable. The unique selling point here is not just the strike itself, but the message it sent to the world. Innovation, intelligence, and courage can sometimes overcome sheer size and power. For Ukraine, this became a moment of pride, and for Russia, it became a lesson in vulnerability. For the international community, it became a story of how the unexpected can change the balance of power. Now, if we think about the price of this event, it comes in different forms. For Ukraine, the price was investment in resources, intelligence gathering, and the risk of exposure. Such an operation is not without cost, because it involves manpower, technology, and high stakes. Yet the outcome made the price worth paying. On the other side, for Russia, the price is even heavier. The damage to the bridge means millions, if not billions, will need to be spent on repairs and rerouting. It also slows down military logistics, creating delays that can have ripple effects on battlefield performance. Beyond the financial cost, the symbolic price is even greater. Russia lost a symbol of strength, and in international perception, that is a loss far more expensive than steel and concrete. The price of reputation, once damaged, is difficult to rebuild, and that is where this event hits hardest. When we bring all these aspects together, the conclusion becomes clear. The collapse of the bridge is not just a physical event, it is a turning point in narrative and strategy. Ukraine proved that what many thought to be impossible was in fact achievable with intelligence, planning, and determination. The world saw more than just a broken structure, it saw a shift in balance, a demonstration that strength is not always about size but about smart moves. For Ukraine, this became a defining moment that inspired its supporters and strengthened its position on the global stage. For Russia, it was a wake-up call that showed cracks in its defenses and vulnerabilities in its strategy. And for the rest of the world, it became a reminder that in conflicts, the impossible can happen, and that perception, strategy, and creativity often matter as much as weapons and numbers. This moment will continue to be discussed in history books, not just for the destruction it caused but for the lesson it delivered. Ukraine pulled off the impossible, and the effects of this event will be remembered long after the rubble of the bridge is cleared away. It is a reminder that every structure, no matter how strong it appears, can fall apart when met with the right combination of courage, planning, and execution. If you enjoyed this breakdown and found it helpful, make sure to stay connected for more deep dives into major global events. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next analysis.